here's my sound preferences. I like a variety of different tunings, but really what gets my juices flowing, starting from the lower octaves, is in the bass. I like my bass punchy, tight, fast with a kick. I like a little bit of energy down there, maybe a little bit of warmth, but not too much into the getting into bass bleeding. It's got to have enough weight to make male vocals, make piano, cello, percussions, have the right tonality. When it comes to my mids, I do like my mids and mid clarity, but I don't like too forward a mid, so that's the upper mids I'm talking about. So keep the pinna gain down a little bit and not make it too forward a presentation. And when it comes to the highs, I do like my sparkly highs. At my age, I'm probably losing a little bit of the high frequencies. But not too much where it's sibilant and in your face. So that's what I like. Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a little bit of a comparison and a shootout between the ISN EBC80, got the name right this time, $699. This is a quad brid, so two 8mm LCP dynamic drivers, two BA from Knowles, two EST from Sonyan, and two bone conduction drivers from Sonyan as well. Versus the Xenns Vanguard Top Pro, $200 less at $499. This is a 10 driver tri-brid. Two dynamic drivers again, two custom Knowles for the mids. And then you have four Sonyan BAs for the high end and some composite pairs. and one Knowles balanced armature for the ultra high end. So a little bit different configuration. And I want to do a comparison because I didn't have a chance on either of those reviews to pit one against each other. And while I was kind of thinking they were very similar in tonality wise, I hate going off of memory because mine isn't that good. So, and they do sound completely different. And I wanted to shoot this video because if you were thinking about picking up the Top Pro at $499, is it right for you or is it not right for you? The EBC80 at $699, is it worth the $200 upgrade? Well, those are the questions I asked myself, and let's give you some answers here. First of all, the ISN EBC80 has more texture in the bass, and the Top Pro has a sweetness to the mids, fuller, more mid-centric than the ISN. Here's the two graphs from my measurements overlaid each other, and you can see the differences here. And between the two, you can see the EBC80 actually having more mid-bass and the Top Pro having more mid-range. If I move the graph down to, say, 150 hertz to do a comparison, I can show you that a little bit more. And you can see that the Top Pro just has overall more mid-range. And into the kind of as the ear gain region, so starting off, say, 800 hertz, and climbing, it has more elevation and more energy than the EBC80. So that's how those two on paper sound. Now, what about, and I'll put it back to 500 here as an average, and again, it's pretty good overlay you can see. And you can also see the EBC80 having more treble energy and upper, I would say lower treble energy. Both are about the same in the upper treble, but this is how they now come across a little bit more. The strings and instrumental are more resolving on the EBC80. You can pick up the instruments, pick out the instruments from the vocals, and are more spacious, 3D layered over the Top Pro. Listening to like no other from the Dead Daisies. The EBC80 bass and feels and sounds tighter. There is more mid-bass. There is more information down there. The kick drums sound punchier. The Top Pro sounds a bit pillowy in comparison. Vocals are noticeably smoother and more musical on the Top Pro. You can see a theme going on here, right? And between the two. And between the two IEMs, especially for rock, like on this track, for me, the Top Pro definitely wins out. Now, what about sweet vocals? Adore You, Miley Cyrus. Vocals are probably more correct on the EBC80, less colored, but they're just so lush and so sweet on the Top Pro. I'm struggling. I love both, but I would struggle to, and I'll get into the conclusion of which one to pick up. Because I have both, right? The EBC80 does project a bigger sense of spaciousness in regards to its stage presentation. Things are more layered, more separated out, and that is the Xenns bone conduction drivers at work here. A more refined and technically competent, and this is kind of what I was thinking when I was listening to this. I haven't had a sound rhyme in a while. but it kind of reminded me of that but with a whole lot less upper mid-range and keeping that amazing. And that's how I'd kind of describe the Top Pro. A better pen-on mid-range at its best house core sound. Besides having a different tuning and an additional $200 you would have to lay out for the EBC80 on that ask of $699, what you get in the mix is, and paying for, I think, is those Sonyan bone conduction drivers. Now, if you really, really like that kind of effect, or if you're not sure what kind of sound signature you're still going for, the Sonyan bone conduction drivers are definitely present, but they're subtle. Not like the elastic style, they like the 11 millimeter you would find in the Apox Grit or into the Pula Anvil 114. That is a more tactile sound, and it kind of tacks on to the trailing edges of cymbal strikes and notes, where the EBC80 Sonyan bone conduction drivers are there doing that as well, but there's also more in there filling out the mid-range and the mid-bass, I find. While it's more subtle, again, it is definitely noticeable and present. So you get the added in of the texture of the notes, and that's what I find. And where the Top Pro trades away technical details for musicality, the EBC80 would kind of appeal to those more stage hounds and audiophiles looking for a colored sound, but not willing to sacrifice resolution and details. So both of these IMs are truly fantastic, and the hype that both get are well deserved. But both are different enough to stand apart. They sound different, and their overall tonal presentation is quite different. Now, I kind of wrote this last part just to answer that final question, who should buy the Top Pro? Well, someone who knows that they want a very colored sound with a thicker, lusher mids. People who don't mind some extra vocal weight, trading musicality, or being able to pick out every single note detail in the music. Rock and jazz fans, EDM aficionados, someone who owns a clean, neutral, bright source, maybe like a Cayenne N3 Ultra, which I tried it on, I love it. My Aston Kern Con Max, the Nepo A100 were all excellent pairings. Who should pick up the ISN EBC80? Well, someone who prioritizes a more neutral sound, balanced but yet still colored in all the right spots. And again, without sacrificing technical chops. Over musicality, that's where it goes. Stage hounds, classic lovers, people who go for vocal correctness over a lusher, warmer sound. Owners of warmer sources, Shandling, M3 Plus for me, the UP6 from Shandling, the little dongle, Hipdax, or anything with tubes. It was really, really mind-blowing on the Kai Designs Tap 1 Pro on tube mode, the Ibasso DX320 and 340 on Amp 14. Both were wonderful pairings. So two completely different sounding IMs, a whole lot more different than I was expecting even, but that's how I heard them. And I hope this video helps you make a decision if you were leaning one way or the other. This is a Tone Deaf Monk, out for now. I got some exciting stuff coming up, by the way. I have the Edo coming from Dunu, the collaboration. I have the Dawn X coming from A Fool. I have the Soft Ears RSV Mark II coming, and a couple other surprises, so stay tuned.